everyone, we are going to be starting a new series today from Lost Ocean by Johanna Basford. Now I have this sort of fishy mandala that I thought might be fun to have a go at because it's got lots of small parts to it which we can use to build up a series. And you know, one of my videos each day is going to be a shorter one. I always think it's nice to have a short one and a longer one, so these will be the shorter ones. We'll do one, maybe two fish a day, and then just build it up. So with this mandala, I'm coming a little bit close, it's quite hard to see. We've got a repeating pattern, so we've got this fish here repeats all the way around, and then this fish here repeats all the way around. We have the same pattern all the way through until we get right to the middle, when that one there is the same. So what we're going to do is we're only going to colour one of each fish. So I'm going to colour this fish, and then all these others would just be done in the same way. So I'm only going to show you one, and then if you need to, you can replay the tutorial, the video, to do the next one, next one, next one. Or you can sort of do a little bit of this one, pause it, and do that same bit on each of those. It's up to you how you do it. But I'm going to just do one in the video, and then I'll probably record all the videos only doing one. And then I will finish it and show you the finished picture eventually, but I'm not going to rush and try and do each one. So I'm going to start with this one here. So I'm just going to come in nice and close. I'm going to be using my Staedtler Design Journey pencils. Now I have a swatch chart for them, which is available for free in my Ko-fi shop, and it not only tells you what the numbers are. I've looked up the names because they're not written on the pencils, but they do have names, and put them on the chart. I've swatched them, or you can download a blank one and swatch it. But I've also said which sets those particular colours are included in, because there's a 12, 24, 48 and 72 set. I have the 72 set, so I have all of them, but obviously if you've got the 48 you're not going to quite have all of them. But anyway, there's enough waffling on. Let's start a fish. I want to do a blue fish. Okay, now I tend to like to do the tails darker than the rest of the fish. I do not know why, it's just a thing. So I am going to start, actually we might go for more aquamarine type colours, I'm not sure. And start with 59 now. This is actually called Hooker's Green, but I think it's quite blue. I'm going to do this tail. Now we have all these little lines on the tail, and if you wanted to be strictly fussy about it, you could sort of make each bit darker along the line to make it look like there's lots of shape in this tail. Ideally, if this was bigger, what I would do was go darker each side of that line to create a sort of curve in each of these bits. This is very small. It's too small for me to be able to fiddle around like that. Even if I sharpen this pencil to a sharp point, I could do it, but I just don't have the patience. So this is what I'm going to do instead. I'm going to make it darker at the top and the bottom, making sure we've got a fair bit of pencil. I'm going to sharpen it a bit because it goes down better if it's sharp. I used the Staedtler Norris Club sharpener. It's getting worn out. For my Staedtler pencils, it works perfectly. It's what it's designed for, you know, and collects the bits, etc. I also use it for my polychromos and most of my other sets, to be honest, except for the really soft pencils when I use the hand crank sharpener. Hand crank sharpeners are generally better, I have to say, but I really should have used a brush there, being lazy, but they're noisy when I'm streaming, so I don't use them. But they're also, I don't know, I find they take a bit longer. I'm lazy. Right, my next colour is 359. Now this is aquamarine, and we're going to do some of the details. Now also, I was going to say when I was talking about my Ko-fi shop that I do have comparison charts with Staedtler and other brands. I can't remember which ones I have now. But I will leave links to them in the description so you can go and grab one. So if you've got polychromos, for example, I know there's a polychromos one, so you can go and find all these pencils and their nearest matches in polychromos. So if you want to colour along using almost the same colours but you don't have these pencils, you can do that. I'm happy to make swatch charts for any brands that I have. It's quite difficult for me to do it if I don't have the pencil. So that is my only sort of drawback. And I thought I had loads and loads of sets, but I've just blocked all those in. It's a bit scruffy, to be honest, but you know. I have had requests for quite a few comparison sheets where I only have one of the sets of pencils, so I can't do it. But I try my best and ask away, because this is 35, which is our turquoise. Ask away, because you never know, I might have them, and I'll give it a go if I do. Right, around there. Some of you I know are very good at matching yourself without needing my help, but it's not always easy, is it? Now we're going to do our main body colour now, which is the number 54. The 54 is called French green, but I don't think it's green, it's bluey. Now I'm going to do a layer all over our fish. Now we've already done a bit of the detail, not the eye. Try and avoid the eye. But what I'm doing is I'm just going to put down a light layer, and then we're going to do a little bit, put some darker areas on in a bit. So we can add a little bit of interest shape to our fish. You can of course leave it dead plain if that's what you want, but you don't have to. Now I'll find my brush this time. Let's brush that off. It's not particularly neat at the moment, but it will become hopefully neater. Right, so what I'm going to do first is I'm thinking I'm going to make it a little bit dark on the edges and fade it in towards the middle of it. I'm using the same colour, by the way, I didn't switch, I just sharpened. Yeah, I really used to absolutely loathe swatching pencils, I just hated it. And since I've started making swatch charts, I've actually started to like it. Firstly, I used to swatch so that I did a dark to light, like I'm doing here. And I used to hate it, and it takes a long time. But now I don't. I just block it in really dark, because I think it's better to see what the colour looks like when it's layered up, I think, for me anyway. Okay, so that's our first bit. We also have these lines, and I'm wondering if there'd be a bit of shadow underneath them. I don't know why I wonder that, but I don't think I'm going to use this same colour. Yeah, I think I'm going to use what number is this? 35. The turquoise. So I'm going to sharpen it. Now I only use that here. Oh, my telephone's ringing. Hold on. Oh, I am back. Was the husband on the phone? Not sure where I was at. I'm using 35 turquoise. We only did this little bit here, so we're going to use it just to build up a bit of colour under here. You could do this as a shadow with a grey, but I think it'll look prettier keeping to these sort of blues. Now the only problem with colouring a fish in this colour is this is my sea colour. This is what I would mainly, not always, use for water, particularly ocean/sea. So I'm going to do a bit along here too. If you you are doing this on a different page, or a page or you're thinking of doing a background, then you need to take care with this, because it just might not quite work out with your background. This one might just fade in. So give that a little bit of thought, but I'm probably not going to do a background on this page because there's going to be lots of colour. You know, each fish is going to be a different set of colours, I hope. I think I will have enough colours, we'll see. But what that means is that I probably won't do a background or else it's just going to be too much and I'm going to struggle to work out what colours to use. I've got my white pen now. Now with fish, I tend to do a little bit of a white line across the top here like this, because I feel that fish, they have their scales and they are shiny, and so having a little bit of shine on the top sort of makes sense. You could put one on the bottom, but for me it makes more sense it's on the top. But you know, I mean, this is just a mandala, it's not like they're real, so you can do it on the bottom if you think it'll add to it as well. You can always do some dots up and down the tail. You can add in white wherever you wish, but I think I'm just going to keep it simple there. The other thing is the eye. Now I've left the eye white and I think that's the easiest. It's so small. I think it stands out better with just showing the paper through. Obviously it's not completely white. I think this book is slightly cream. It's not as creamy as some of them, but I'm going to just leave it. Now my next fish, because now the only other thing is with the white pen is wet. It dries fairly quickly, to be honest, but to be absolutely sure, I'm going to do this fish next, not that one, so I'm not leaning over it and potentially smudging it. So if you're doing your oil fish, you know, think about that pen, maybe leave it till the end. You know, just be a little bit careful, because having a bit of a smudge of pen, white pen isn't too bad, but it's quite irritating if you're using black and you smudge it. Ugh. Anyway. But I think I've talked quite enough today, this morning, for a simple video. So as I say, it's just going to be some simple ones. If the smaller ones are quite quick, I might do a couple in a video, but I'm just going to start off by doing this one just to get you into it. And of course, if you're wanting to complete the whole page, you may now want to do all of the others, so it's still going to take you a little while if you're following the tutorial, even though the video is quite short. But hopefully that was a little bit of fun for you. I enjoyed it. Nice little fishy. Nice start to the day. And I shall be back tomorrow with another. Whether we stick to just one colour sort of group per fish, or whether we go a little bit mixed up, I'm not sure, but I've got to decide. So I'm going to have a coffee and a think, and then come back and do the next one ready for you tomorrow. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a lovely, lovely day. Try and find some time for some self-care, whether that's colouring or watching videos. Put your feet up, have a bit of a relax, have a nice breath, and just enjoy just being in your own company and on your own for a moment. Right, I am going to go. Have a super, super day and happy colouring.